the secret Pentagon office that was investigating UFOs was called the Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program, ATIP. That was one of its names. It was not the original name back to 2007 when it was created with funding from Harry Reed, then the Senate Majority Leader, who got interested in the story. It got the Senate to appropriate in so-called black money. I mean, it was not public part of the Pentagon budget, $22 million to this office. And the money was basically appropriated for Robert Bigelow's operation. He was an aerospace entrepreneur in Las Vegas who was close to Harry Reid and who had designed a lot of high-tech technology, including a habitat for the space station, the International Space Station. So he'd been interested in anomalous research for a long time. He's very interested in strange things that were happening on a ranch that he bought in Utah, and he was very interested in UFOs and these accounts of encounters with beings and aircraft and spaceships. So he had the organization, the company, the aerospace company that could use this money to do investigation. So he partnered with the Pentagon in setting up research, and so eventually the office was called ATIP, the Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program, and the head of it was a guy named Luis Elizondo, an intelligence guy with a lot of experience in high-level operations, who was the head of it at the time. But what made the story more interesting was that Lou Elizondo had just submitted his resignation to Defense Secretary Jim Mattis because he was being blocked by forces in the Pentagon who thought this whole study was demonic. They didn't want to have any part of it. So he had enough, Elizondo, and he submitted his resignation. So we had not only the story about the fact that there was this secret Pentagon office investigating UFOs, but there was the human drama of the head of it was resigning because he was being blocked. So there were, levels of this story that made it, even more interesting. So that's how that came about, and that's the story of ATIP.